What's up? Welcome into your daily Buckeye Blitz for a finally freaking Friday. Good God. Week kind of flew by for me. I don't know about you guys, but hopefully it did for you too. Let's get the weekend kicked off here on a Friday morning or whenever you might be watching. First, always got to say, if you want to support the show, please join the YouTube membership, TBC Friends, join the community. It's somewhat recruiting focused for now, but we're going to do some members only videos, not just recruiting, but general topics. And we're going to dig into some player profiles. I've got some videos like highlights, just some small clips I want to show of specific plays, like, different issues like on defense last year. Also, some plays from the spring game, focus on the quarterbacks, Kyle McCord, what he did right, wrong, good, bad. So check that out. That's going to be members only. But get in there. I'm posting a recruiting news and notes, like a little, not a nugget. Don't say a nugget because some sites use that already, and it's I don't like that site. Anyways, so check it out. Get your daily recruiting note, news, whatever. And then, of course, I'm still going to be doing the recruiting news and updates all the time. But today, we're giving you a little break from the recruiting. Things are kind of quiet right now as everybody gets geared up for June. You got your camp season and your official visit season coming up in June. So things are going to be hot and heavy on the recruiting side through the month of June. So now's a good time to get in there and join the TBC Friends community. So today we're talking running back depth rankings. I'm ranking them 1 through 5, 5 through 1, actually. I want you to rank them in the comments. Give me your rankings because you're probably going to disagree with me slightly. When you got more guys in here, there's a lot more moving parts. So hit me with your rankings 1 through 5. We're just sticking with the scholarship guys. So when you're ranking a position, you got to think about the unit itself. Like I saw On3 rank the Ohio State running back room as a whole number 4 in the country. That's pretty good, right? But you're not just looking at the best players at the position. You're looking at the depth, the entire depth of the room. They were actually behind Michigan, Alabama, and Penn State. Not surprising, right? I mean, those are 3 heavy run teams, with good backs. So let's get into it. We got Travion Henderson, Maya Williams, Chip Trainum, Edmund Pryor, and Dallin Hayden. So that's our 5 scholarship running backs heading into next season. We know Henderson and Evan Pryor were unavailable for spring. They recovered from their injuries. You had Williams, Trainum, and Hayden that took some reps in spring. The bulk of the reps went to Hayden with the 1s, and Chip ran with the 2s. So let's start there. Number 5, my number 5, we're going 5 to 1, bottom to top. Chip Trainum, the redshirt junior, 5'11", 230 pounds from Akron, Ohio. Class of 2020, so been around a bit. He was a 4-star coming out of high school, according to 24/7. Number 22 running back overall. He is 100% a running back this season, so there's no flip-flopping, barring some crazy linebacker room decimation of injuries. But he had 14 carries for 83 yards in the Michigan game. That's probably his best performance, I would say, against a quality opponent. Adds good depth as an option as a power back, in my opinion. So I wouldn't be surprised if they try to use him a little bit like a Mitch Rossi, use him as that fullback, kind of hammer him in there for a 3rd and 1, 4th and 1, and then maybe slip him out of the backfield on a play action, hit him out in the corner of the end zone for a short touchdown. Stuff we saw Rossi do, What else? Let's go number 4, Dallin Hayden, the sophomore, true sophomore, 5'11", 195. He's from Tennessee, of course, class of 22. was a 4-star also, number 19 running back in the 22 class. Stepped up multiple times last year when he was called upon, when Henderson was out, Williams were out, both of them. He had 126 total snaps with 111 attempts, rushing attempts, 553 yards, a nice little 5-yard average, take that, and 5 touchdowns. He had 3 games of over 100 yards and 146 and 3 touchdowns against Maryland. So there's a stat that I'm kind of focusing on with these running backs that get a lot of carries anyway. Forced missed tackle rate. It's a PFF stat that they track. Basically, it's like a broken tackle rate. How often do you break tackles, or force a guy to miss on the tackle, where somebody gets a hand or an arm on you, or gets you wrapped up, but you run through it. So Dallin Hayden was a 17.1%. And for some context, Bijan Robinson was the best in the country last year at 40.4%. So that's astronomical. And to compare, Blake Corum was a 29.4%. And he was like 10th, I think, in the country. So keep that in mind. We're going to talk about that again. Evan Pryor, I got him as my number 3. I know he hasn't really seen game time snaps, but 5'11", 198, class of 2021, 4-star, high 4-star. He was the number 7 running back in the country, top 100 player, towards ACL last year. We know that. He's electric, and he's got those hands out of the backfield. He can be deadly. I really am dying to see him get into a game. Whether we'll see him early on in the season, I don't know. Because it's been not even a calendar year since he tore that ACL. So getting back, hopefully 100% now. And if we can get him a full or close to full fall camp, that'd be ideal. So I got him as my number 3. Don't take this as like disrespect towards everybody else. I know Dallin had moments last year, but Evan Pryor, A, is older, and B, has been in the offense a year longer. We haven't heard any of those ball security issues with Evan Pryor from practice, like we did last year with Dallin Hayden. So, and again, don't know why they didn't use Dallin against Michigan. I know you guys are saying the same thing. I can hear you right now, but I like Evan more. I think he has a higher upside, to be honest with you. So that's my opinion. I'm sticking to it. All right, number 2. This should be pretty clear, I would hope. Mayan Williams, redshirt junior, 5'9", 225, out of Winton Woods in Cincy, class of 2020. So his 4th year in the program. He was a 3-star, number 29 running back in his class. Also dealt with injuries last year, had the lower leg injury that really limited him in the Michigan and Georgia games. 8 carries and 3 carries, 8 against Michigan, 3 against Georgia. Did get that 1 touchdown against Georgia, and he did pick up, I think it was a 3rd and 1 or a 4th and 1 against Michigan. I remember that. But kept the drive alive, very efficient as a runner. You don't see him dancing. He might do a one single simple cut left or right, but he's not doing like skiing, like jump cuts, he's not, jumping all over the place. His forced missed tackle rate is outstanding. It's top 10 in the country. His forced missed tackle rate, the broken tackle rate, is 37.5%. That was last year with fucking injuries, man. Insane. Bijan, again, was 40.4%, and Blake Corum was 29.4%. So Mayan is a beast, is what that says in not so many words. He had 142 snaps, 128 rushing attempts, 825 yards, a 6.4 average, and 14 TDs. He was that guy down in the red zone. When you're down in the goal line area, he's getting that carry and getting it in the end zone last year. So number 1, obviously that leaves Travion Henderson, the junior, 5'11", 195, out of Virginia, class of 2021, came in with Evan Pryor, of course. the 5-star, number one running back in the class, rushed for 1,248 yards and 15 touchdowns as a true freshman. The foot injury we know all about just hampered him throughout the year, kept him out of 5 actual games, full games. He had 124 snaps, not much, only 106 attempts, 576 yards, 5.4 yard average, and only 6 touchdowns. I gotta quit having coffee before we start this. And then his forced missed tackle rate is only 13.2. So got to get that up. Got to get that grade up with Travion and Dallin. Those guys got to improve that. If Travion's able to stay at 100% for a full season, he'll definitely get the most touches in this offense. No doubt about it. He can do it all between the tackles, outside. He can catch the ball on swing passes, little screens, and we saw him his freshman year take it to the house, 70 yards. So Travion is my number one. So I go Travion, Mayan, Evan, Dallin. Why is everybody's names end in N? It's weird. And Chip does not end in an N with his first name. I'm gonna study that. Okay, I'll get back to you on that. Just kidding. So give me your ranks in the comments. Appreciate you. Hit the Buckeye TBC friends community. I appreciate you. Keep your eye out for a Buckeyes and Bikinis episode coming soon. So talk to you later. Go Bucks.